There are many places that players have forgotten or haven't visited in GTA games. Let's take a look at these places from GTA 3 to GTA 5. Since the older version of GTA 3 didn't have a map, let's visit some of the forgotten places in the definitive edition. On the east side of the map is the starting island, Portland. Since this is the first island we start the game on, it's an area we explore quite frequently. However, there's still a spot on this island that we rarely visit, Portland Beach. This beach is rarely visited by players because there's nothing to do there, and it's also difficult to access. To get here, you either have to jump off a cliff, which is very risky, or go around through the port, which is quite tedious. Despite being a large beach, it's a place that players forget about or simply don't want to visit due to these reasons. I've visited this beach so few times that I just learned there's a lighthouse here. So that's all the places I have to mention on Portland Island. Since it's a small island, there really aren't any areas that players don't visit. The second island, Staunton Island, is larger, but because it's easy to get around and has missions all over, it's frequently visited, with no areas that are forgotten. So, let's skip this island. Now let's move on to the island we'll focus on the most, Shoreside Vale. The reason there are many forgotten places on this island is that it's the last one to be unlocked. One of the least visited places on this island is Cedar Grove, a neighborhood with many luxury homes and villas. It also has a view overlooking Staunton Island. Wait, who's that guy? Well, I guess one reason players might avoid visiting is because of him. Anyway, crossing this bridge in Cedar Grove leads you to another rarely visited area, Pike Creek. There's almost no residential area here. It's an industrial zone filled with factories, warehouses, and industries, making it quite a dull place. It's pretty clear why players don't come here very often. GTA Vice City has a small map, similar to GTA 3. Because of this, the number of locations that players don't visit is limited. One such location is the golf course situated in the central part of the map. This is one of the places that players rarely visit, as we only come here during a mission. Despite this, it is the greenest area in GTA Vice City. Additionally, there's another side to this golf course. You can use the footbridge to get to the other side. If you're tired of the city life in Vice City and want to get some fresh air, this golf course is definitely worth a visit. GTA San Andreas, unlike GTA 3 and GTA Vice City, features a massive map. The size of the map means there are places players might never get around to visiting. The list is a bit long this time, so hold on tight. One of the places players rarely visit despite being a great location is the town of Bayside. Located in the northwest of the map, this town is a coastal area with luxury homes and a stunning sea view. Unfortunately, since players don't often visit this town, it doesn't get the attention it deserves. The main reason for this is that there's no reason for players to come here, as there are no main missions in this town. Also, it's not close to any cities and is situated at the far end of the map. I would have loved to see at least a safe house here. It could have gained some popularity. If you haven't visited this place yet, I definitely recommend checking it out. Another forgotten place close to Bayside is the town of El Quebrados. Again, due to the lack of main missions and its remote location, it's one of the places players don't visit. But at least it has a safe house, a medical center, and a gun store. Let's move a bit south. And yes, it's another town. Las Barrancas is also one of those rarely visited places for the same reasons. Now let's step away from towns and look at some forgotten natural areas. Next to the city of Las Venturas, there's a large desert. In this desert, you can find interestingly shaped buttes. For example, CJ is currently on a broken butte. Not far from here, there's a massive radio telescope. You can compare its size to CJ's height. Despite being such an interesting place, almost no one visits it or talks about this radio telescope. Behind the radio telescope, there's a tower that you can climb. If you approach the tower, CJ will teleport to the top, and you can make a nice jump by taking the parachute up there. Here's another town we're discovering, Fort Carson. This town is much larger than the previous ones, but there's nothing to do here either. There are many more forgotten towns in GTA San Andreas, but it would be good to visit some forgotten places in the cities as well. When you head in this direction from Jizzy's mansion, you'll be heading towards the beauty of San Fierro. After passing through a tree-lined road and taking the right fork at a split, you'll reach a street filled with colorful houses of different hues. Since there are no missions here, players unfortunately don't spend much time here, but it feels like another city rather than San Fierro. There are many more of these colorful small houses and even narrow streets, similar to the game's starting area. There are no forgotten places in Los Santos, so let's head to Las Venturas now. Since Las Venturas has a lot of missions, there isn't a huge forgotten area like in San Fierro. However, there are some overlooked spots at the northern end of Las Venturas. You probably know this house as Millie Perkins' house, one of CJ's girlfriends. If you move a bit further straight from this house, you'll encounter a large gated community. This gated community features several tennis courts. Unfortunately, it's not as functional as in GTA 5, but it adds some variety to GTA San Andreas. There's also a large pool here. Let's continue. As we move further, we encounter a golf course with people inside.
CJ, you forgotten about me?
Millie Perkins, the perfect girl. Hold tight, I'll be right over there.
It seems like she's noticed us. We shouldn't have waited in front of the house. Anyway, sadly, many players have never visited this golf course. They might not even know it exists. If you haven't visited it either, well, now you have. It's no surprise that even though GTA 4 itself is often forgotten, its map also contains forgotten places. Charge Island is one of those forgotten places. The reason this island is overlooked is that players usually just drive across the bridge without visiting the island. Additionally, the lack of missions, things to do, and even settlements on the island gives players no reason to visit it. Another forgotten island is Colony Island. Entering this island is a bit more challenging since you can't get there directly from the bridge. This island is somewhat more developed than Charge Island. However, because this area, filled with factories, doesn't offer any elements to attract players, it becomes one of the locations included in this video. The least visited main island is Alderney State, the last one to be unlocked. After completing the missions, there isn't much left to do in GTA 4, so players might not find the opportunity to spend time on this island. Speaking from personal experience, while I can easily find my way on the starting island without navigation, I would definitely get lost in Alderney Island without it. Things might have been different if GTA 4 had started on this island, just like in the Lost and Damned DLC. If you've played this DLC, you've visited this island enough because the DLC is specifically focused on riding motorcycles on it. GTA 5 is actually quite an old game. Plus, due to its popularity and the long wait for GTA 6, players are playing GTA 5 like crazy. Despite its large map, there are really no forgotten areas due to its popularity. However, we can talk about some areas that are less visited compared to other parts of the map. Of course, there are no completely unexplored places in Los Santos since it's the only large city in the game. When it comes to less visited areas, natural environments are visited less than other places. However, walking in these types of environments allows us to step away from the city and engage in a different activity. One of my favorite spots is this tiny lake on the map. It's so small, it's about the same size as a pool. There are many beautiful natural spots like this, but let's also talk about the towns. Everyone knows the town where Trevor lives, and there's another town very close to it. This town is a bit less popular and visited less frequently. That's it for the forgotten places I wanted to mention. I recommend watching this video where I explain why some players hate GTA 4. See you in the next video.